Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're catching this video, friends. Hello, let's talk about Palantir. So I think the majority of people, investors right now, we're at the end of the year 2023 here. The market's still running better than we thought it was going to do. A lot of people, including myself, thought this was going to be a bloodbath by this point, but it's holding together surprisingly. Now, of course, economists are now saying that 2024 is going to bring the biggest economical crash of the market and housing market that we have ever seen in the history of finance ever. So we'll see. They've been saying that, so it's really hard to judge. But talking about Palantir, the hype has kind of died down here with Palantir, and I think the majority of investors that are left in it that have been patient enough to stay in Palantir right now are obviously long-term, and I think that's the majority of a lot of people that are in Palantir right now. They're long-term investors. These are people that are going to be here for the next 5 to 10 years or even longer. We're looking at this as a retirement fund. We're looking at this for, two splits into the future where we're talking millions and millions of dollars per person for their portfolio. So I think a lot of people here are like, I don't care. I'm just accumulating more shares. I'll pay $17. I'll pay $18. I'll pay $20 a share. It doesn't bother me any. And then you have people here who, were in the hype, pushing it and just, wanting it to run more and more and more. And now we're sitting at this $17, what looks like plateau right now for Palantir. And you're seeing a lot of negative feedback out there with people with Palantir where they're saying, this stock has ran its course. It's done. It's going to go back to $10. If you're still in it, you're a clown. But this is just the general conversation with majority of stocks out there, like anything else. But obviously long-term investors here are always going to take the brunt of comments and negative feedback with investors that are day by day, week by week, month by month, because obviously we're patient. We don't care. We're in this for the long haul. So what I'm trying to say is I think Palantir obviously is still cheap compared to where we're looking at into the future. Obviously, one of the government contracts that came out just a few weeks ago saying it may not be as much as we said it was going to be. But still, what does it matter in the long term? And that's really, I guess this video more than not is for the long-term investor. If you're looking for short gains here, yeah, they're going to come and go. We know Palantir, our next quarterlies, they should hit. They should be fabulous to wrap up the year here, what we'll see in January. And Palantir, from that, will probably, before quarterlies even come out, will probably run to $20. It's just probably what's going to happen. Now, will they keep that $20 mark, and will that be where we start into the 20s going into 2024? Possibly, especially if they're quarterlies to really wrap up the whole year that are good and they look great, and we talk more about these deals. And obviously the big thing hanging over Palantir right now is, are they going to go in the S&P 500? That conversation has kind of calmed down as well. The hype around that has kind of stopped, but that does not mean it's not going to happen. More than likely, it's going to happen. You even look at a 6-month chart on Palantir here. Obviously, it's outstanding, beautiful chart. It really is. And we've almost got to $22. That's the highest we've got in these past 6 months of just fighting for this big double-digit number we're going after here with Palantir. 8 months ago, we were sitting at $7, and a lot of people were going, when is this stock really going to do something? It should be moving here. Well, then we had deal after deal come in. And, I think a lot of people right now, obviously with Palantir, they just go, should I keep putting money into it? What should I do here? Is it going to go back down? Let's just go ahead and throw out some, obvious statements right now with going into the new year. Everyone is split with what they think is going to happen here into the new year. Personally, I would bet the house on Palantir. I would bet that it's going to work, just of what we know so far. We can be assured that AI and huge software companies are going to do well going into the future. Palantir is right in that conversation. And this is why I'm putting the majority of all of my money into Palantir and Tesla. If not, put it directly in the S&P 500. And obviously, when I say Tesla, people go, well, Tesla's an EV company. I would rethink that conversation. I would rethink that thought. Really dig into what Tesla is, especially their new robotic system that they have going on. More than likely, Tesla, with this coming year, if not the next, but more than likely this year, will probably shoot up even more to go into another split. So friends, will Palantir hit huge numbers this year? Yes. What will it be? I don't know. This is an election year. There's a lot that's going to change, going to happen. We could have a whole new president this time next year, which would really change the whole outcome and look of the market. It would shift a little bit. It always does with the new leadership. What I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be scared to put your money in Palantir. Even if we went back down to $15 for a small moment, transferring here into 2024. We know this last quarterly to wrap up the year should be banger. We pretty much already know what it's going to be. Not to mention going into the new year, we're probably going to continue to see big deals with Palantir. That more than likely is going to happen. And Palantir has strictly been running off new deals in these quarterlies that have been helping back it up. They've got cash, they've got technology, they've got people's attention, and that is what drives a company into big money. Friends, happy holidays. I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.